Welcome to another 3-question interview from CarbSmart. I'm Dana Carpenter, your trusted guide to everything low-carb, or to those who know it. In these interviews, I ask a professional whose job in some way involves carbohydrate restriction 3 questions and, of course, listen to their answers. Today, I am interviewing Christine Woodward-Moore, a functional nutritional therapy practitioner. Having talked to registered dietitians who embrace carbohydrate restriction about the fact that food corporations are a major source of funding for college dietetics programs and the effect that has on what they are taught and what they are permitted to say to their clients, I was interested to learn how functional nutritional therapy differs. Let's hear what Christine has to say.
Hey gang, Dana Carpenter here with Low Carb for Life, brought to you by CarbSmart. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss a single episode. Hey gang, Dana Carpenter here with another one of CarbSmart's 3-question interviews. Today we are with Christine Woodward-Moore, who is, I believe I've got these initials right, Christine, functional nutritional therapy practitioner.
You got it.
I'm so bright, I can barely stand it sometimes. So functional nutritional therapy practitioner. Let me turn off the sound on my phone so it's not ringing. There we go. That's a fairly new profession. And I'd be interested to know how that differs from a dietitian or a nutritionist, and what's different about the training, what exactly it is you do, and what conditions you can help with.
Sure. Yeah. So in my experience, dietitians and nutritionists, they basically use the same plan for everybody. And most of the time it's a low-fat diet. That's what I've
seen. Me rolling my eyes.
I know. But what the Nutritional Therapy Association does is we start you out at a certain point. So it's 30 grams of protein, 30 grams of fat, 40 grams of carbohydrates a day. But then we adjust that as we see that things need to be changed. So the Nutritional Therapy Association accepts a ketogenic diet. We don't practice one particular diet. We pay attention to the client's needs and go from there.
You don't assume that everybody's the same. How clever.
Right. We're all I can't say the word.
Individual.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. A question I've gotten over and over in the years that I've been talking about low carb is, well, how many grams of carbohydrate should I eat a day? To which my response is always, how should I know?
Exactly.
I do well on eating animal protein and fat and other healthy fats, ad lib, eating nuts and seeds, even peanuts and cashews, which are higher in carb than say walnuts and pecans and macadamias and stuff.
Right.
And non-starchy vegetables ad lib. And people are like, well, what are your macros? And I'm like, I don't know. I eat these foods and it works for me. And generally when I blow into my ketonic breath ketone meter, I'm in a mild to moderate state of ketosis.
Yes.
But I don't know how many grams of carb I'm eating to be there. And I don't know how many grams of fat. I'm just eating the way I've been eating it'll be 29 years in September. 29 years. Yeah. So you've kind of answered the next question, which is, how does carbohydrate restriction fit into your approach as a nutritional therapist? So maybe you could elaborate on that as to, what conditions would you be most likely? I assume diabetes.
Yeah.
But what other things are you likely to use it for? Tell us about how your profession views carbohydrate restriction.
So it's we are all for it. And I want to say that it's out of the scope of our practice to treat conditions like diabetes or things like that. Basically, what we focus on is making sure the client gets nutrient dense food with the adequate vitamins and minerals and the diet plan that's right for them. And if it just so happens that diabetes goes away, that's a win, So as a practitioner, if I had a client who I knew was diabetic, I would automatically start them out on a low carbohydrate, high fat diet. And I think I would do that kind of gradually so they're not like the keto flu or whatever. I would kind of do it gradually so they wouldn't be discouraged.
And, it's my experience that there are these two main mindsets when it comes to big changes in diet. And one of them is, I want to do it gradually. Just give me steps. And the other is, I'm jumping in. I'm doing this. I gave up sugar and white flour overnight at the age of 19. And
Wow.
I read a book on the psychiatric effects of nutrition. And there was a list of I think it was 48 symptoms of reactive hypoglycemia that most people would think were symptoms of emotional problems. I had 40 of them and have been seeing a shrink since I was 11.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, gee, I might as well try this. And I thought, I dieted enough and gained it all back enough in my life to know I could do anything for 2 weeks. Right. Yeah. And I thought, well, I'll give up sugar and white flour for 2 weeks and see what happens. 3 days later, it was like I'd gone from living in black and white to living in color. And that was the beginning of, that was in the summer of 1978. And here I am.
Wow.
And at 65, I am so glad that I got nutrition so early because it's nice to do it when you still have some youth to maintain.
Yeah. You look great. I mean, I would never know. 65, you said?
I was 65 in October. Yep.
Wow.
I'm 65. This is my standing joke these days is that I'm 65, I weigh $1.25, and I'm 5'2". And that means that by definition, I am a little old lady.
Well, yeah. Oh my goodness. I look old now. The hair is just like all gray, but
sweetheart, so's mine. I've been going gray. I found my first gray hair when I was 22, and it was already, I'm trying to show my hands on it's probably going on 2 feet long. It was long. So I had been going gray since I was 20. Wow. And I was solidly gray by the time I was 40. This is all courtesy of a nice girl at the local beauty school.
Yeah.
So, but hey, I feel that being Auburn suits me.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. And it's a heck of a lot cheaper to go to the beauty school than it is to go to a salon. Plus, as a person who went to massage therapy school, Chicago School of Massage Therapy, class of 86, I'm indebted to the people who let me practice on them.
Yeah, guinea pigs.
Yeah. How much, this wasn't on the list of questions I sent you, but I'm going to ask anyway. How long is the training to be a functional nutritional therapeutic practitioner?
When I went through the program, it was 9 months. And I think, in my opinion, it was like 2 years of school squashed into 9 months. And I mean, there was that much information to learn, but it was a lot of fun, very interesting. We had 3 in-person workshops that we had to go to. So whatever place was closest to my location is where I went. And they have them all over the United States. So don't feel bad if you're like on the West Coast and there's there's going to be something close to you.
Okay.
But the rest of it was online learning, and that was a new experience for me because, I could wait till the last minute if I wanted to, but it made me stay on track.
Well, I got to tell you, you can wait till the last minute with in-person schooling.
Yeah.
Although, says the girl who flunked out of college her freshman year.
Oh, no.
Well, I just, it's funny how skipping classes to get high and walk around in the sunshine will do that for you. I had undiagnosed ADD. In fact, nobody had even come up with the whole idea of ADD yet, and I wasn't ready for it. But massage school, I got straight A's all the way through. Absolute straight A's. So yeah. And do you have any blanket nutritional advice? Nutritional advice you would give to everybody? Because I do. But
yeah. I would say learn to pay attention to your body and keep track maybe of if you're feeling bad all the time, pay attention to how you feel after you eat certain foods. And it's kind of like an elimination diet type of thing. But just I would say also perfection, we don't like that, is progress. It's making those little bitty steps. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you mess up one day, just get back on and you don't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect.
It's the enemy of the good. The perfect is the enemy of the good.
Yes.
And
I mean, I'm not perfect, but there's one thing that I want to share too.
Please.
And I had to learn this the hard way. Eating a ketogenic diet does not prevent you from getting cancer.
I'm sorry you learned that the hard way.
Yeah. It was a big shock because breast cancer was nowhere in our family. But I firmly believe, because I was even doing really like 2-day fasts and all that, it was the stress. It was the stress that caused it. I firmly believe it, because I was eating healthy. So just remember that. I want you to remember that you still need to pay attention to the other factors in your life, like stress, sleep, proper hydration. All of it goes together.
Well, and there's things you can't even know about, like what pollutants are in your air or in your water. What are you being exposed to when you walk past the neighbor's lawn? I mean, you just don't know. And there are so many things we don't know in general. There's a wonderful book by Lewis Thomas, who was a doctor who wrote wonderful essays about science and philosophy and stuff like that. He was a Pulitzer for Lives of the Cell. But he also wrote a book called The Youngest Science, and it was about the history of medicine. And he called it The Youngest Science for a reason. And there's still far more we don't know. Than that we do know. By the way, my piece of advice, every now and then, like every 6 months or so, thing will go around Facebook. If you could give everybody 3 words of advice, what would they be? Mine is always, don't eat crap.
Don't eat crap. I love it.
Don't eat crap. I mean, just don't eat crap. And you don't even, we could quarrel, and God knows I do, about whether animal foods are better or plant foods are better, or whether veganism is a great idea. Spoiler alert, I don't think it is. All of that.
There.
But hello?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. My internet connection is unstable. It would be unstable while I'm doing this.
Of course. That's the way it works.
But I think we can all agree, whether we're, I know some hardcore carnivores, or whether we're vegans, I think we can all agree that certain things do fall into the crap category.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola,
Mhm.
Lucky Charms.
Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, we all recognize certain things as and certain things as crappier than other things in their category. For instance, I won't eat classic rolled oats because, see, the part about I don't eat grain and I don't eat all those carbs, but I would certainly recommend traditional rolled oats over instant oatmeal with a ton of sugar in it.
Right. Right.
You know,
And that's where I say it's about progress, not perfection. Um, if you have to find those substitutions at first, some people like you can go cold turkey, but others have to gradually, take those garbagey things out.
yeah.
Uh, and fortunately, there were a lot of substitutions. So,
I'm I've been thinking of maybe coming up with a 6 month or a 12 month program of every month you just do this one thing to majorly change your diet. And number one would be eliminate all sugary beverages. That would
mhm.
be absolutely number one, no
Yep.
sugary beverages. Um, my friend Rob Thompson, with whom I've written some books, Dr. Rob Thompson, um, has done the glycemic load diet, and it's the simplest low carb diet I know to describe. No starches, no sugary beverages. That's it. No starches, no sugary beverages. Because without starch, which is in cookies, donuts, pie, all that stuff, without the starch combined with the sugar, it's really hard to eat a huge amount of sugar. It's really hard to eat more than a handful of jelly beans at a time. Some
Yeah.
people probably can. I never liked jelly beans anyway. I
Oh, I
was a
love
sugar,
jelly beans.
but most people do. I was a major sugar junkie, stealing money to support I was stealing fives and tens from my parents' wallets to support my sugar habit. And we're
Wow.
talking in the early 1970s. So
Wow.
that was a lot of money.
It's bad when.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just ridiculous. But I never liked jelly beans or gumdrops or Twizzlers or any of that stuff. I chocolate, um, hard candy, lots of hard candy, lots
Yeah.
and lots of hard candy. Well, we've done your three questions. Anything else you'd like to add in the way of nutritional advice or recommendation, or how people can find someone like you near where they live? Um,
Yeah. So you can go to the website, it's nutritionaltherapy.com. And I believe the last time I was on there, I believe they're offering a discount right now.
hmm,
Um, so go check that out. And from there, from the web page, they have a section where you can find a practitioner near you. They have a whole list of people. And it's a really nice website. It's a great program. They're constantly staying up to date with information. And fortunately, I still have access to that because I'm a member of the Nutritional Therapy Association. So I get to stay on top of stuff too, which is
yay.
nice. But yeah, go check it out. I think it's very rewarding. Just to be able to help people and see their lives improve, their quality of life. And you're making a difference. We need more nutritional therapy practitioners. And this is what I want to stress too. There's a difference between NTP and FNTP. The FNTP is we go a step beyond the nutrition, and I'm trying to think of there are points on the body that indicate certain vitamin and mineral deficiencies. And so we have somebody on a table and we go through a whole list, and we, press on these areas, and it, if it hurts in one area, that might be a sign of deficiency. So there's a whole thing that we have to learn in addition to the nutrition stuff. So if you don't want to do the extra stuff, just do the NTP.
That almost sounds related to traditional Chinese medicine.
Yes, yeah. So for example, one of the most popular one and the one that hurts me the most. So you know where your rib cage meets at that point.
Yeah.
So go about an inch below that and you'll feel a bone. It's called the xiphoid process.
Yeah. I graduated from massage school,
Yeah.
straight A's. So
yeah. So
I know
yeah,
what my xiphoid process is.
yeah. And then so go to the left. Once you feel that, go a little bit below that and press on the left side of your rib cage. And if it's painful, then you're not producing enough stomach acid.
Huh. Okay.
I just find it fascinating.
Well, and of course, my palpation skills are all related to finding the bad muscles, the bad joints, and all of that.
Yeah.
I have really good palpatory skills.
But you do.
And by the way, my experience with traditional Chinese medicine has been stellar. I have huge respect for traditional Chinese medicine. Can I explain how acupuncture works? I can't. I absolutely cannot.
Yeah.
And there are some good acupuncturists in Bloomington, Indiana. I don't know anybody who does the traditional herbalism. And my experience with traditional Chinese herbalism has been mind-blowingly good. I had a friend who was a Chinese doctor who I worked with, Chi Chow. She worked at the same place where I was doing massage, and I saw her do things that were not supposed to be possible. Literally, I saw a little girl who had spinal meningitis, who was paralyzed and deaf. And the doctors held out zero hope for her. She was just barely 3, and she was going to be paralyzed and deaf for the rest of her life.
Wow.
Her parents somehow heard about this. They lived north of Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and they found out about this Chinese lady in the Chicago suburbs and started bringing their little girl down 2-3 times a week. And that they started in January, and by May or June, that little girl was tearing around our office like any normal toddler and starting to startle at loud noises. Like I said, I saw Chi do stuff that was not supposed to be possible. So
yeah.
We're
just not up on the herbs and things like that, like the Chinese medicine and all that. I mean, they're there for a reason, and we need to, I think, use it more often. I mean, because it's natural.
I'm trying to come up with an herbal blend that will stimulate GLP-1 production, because the GLP-1 drugs are so popular and do work so well for weight loss. It seems to me that if we could come up with an herbal version there, that would be a good thing. Anyway, we're about to run out of time, according to the nice people at Zoom. So it has been lovely to see you, Christine. It has been far too long. I have not been on the low-carb cruise in like 4 or 5 years, since a year or two before the plague.
Yeah.
Have you been at all?
No, I have not. I've just been trying to deal with things here.
If you're ever down in Bedford visiting your family, let me know. Have a car. I will come get you.
Yeah,
and we will go. You can actually feel Janeway's face if you want.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. But, well, my father said that they are planning on going June 6th. So if everything is going well with my eyes, then I should be able to come.
I hope so hard. So anyway, good to see you. Thanks so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yes, you too.
I have known for many years that nutritional requirements vary from person to person. Early on in my reading about nutrition, I learned of the work of Osmond and Hoffer, who discovered that giving massive doses of niacinamide, vitamin B3, to schizophrenics resulted in about a third of them having a dramatic reduction in psychosis. This was a non-physiological dose, a dose impossible to get from food, and only some patients responded, a minority, which led to the work being discounted by the medical community at large. but it taught me early on that nutritional needs differ. This makes the emergence of nutritional professionals taught to tailor recommendations to the individual exciting. If you'd like to find a functional nutritional therapy practitioner near you, or study to be one, or possibly both, check out nutritionaltherapy.com. Thank you, Christine, for teaching us about your profession. Watch for the next 3-question interview. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss a single episode. Until next time, stay low carb, happy, and healthy, and go have some fun.